everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play 7 by Taylor Swift off of her new Folklore album on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something you want to learn. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, that way you never miss out on another new tutorial. And also follow me on Instagram for your chance to win a free lesson with me. I was too scared to jump in, but So the song is going to be not too bad if you're a beginner. It is one of the easier songs off of the Folklore album to play, in my opinion. So if you want to play it in the same key as Taylor, go ahead and make sure your guitar is in standard tuning and put your capo on the 2nd fret. If you don't have a capo, it's okay, you can play the song without one. It will just be a whole step lower than her album version. On top of that, we're going to need to know 5 different chords to play through this song. Unfortunately, one of them is a bar chord, which is our B minor, but no worries, I will show you an alternate fingering of B minor in the chord section so that you don't have to bar it. And then on top of that, we're just going to know 1 strumming pattern to play through the whole song. So let's go ahead and jump into an overview of what I'll be showing you in this tutorial. Alright, so like I said, you only need to know 5 chords to play through the song, and those are A, E minor, D, G, and B minor. Now that B minor chord is a bar chord, but like I said at the beginning, I will be showing you an alternate fingering so that you don't have to bar any chords. So if you're already familiar with those chords and you don't need to review them, then that's perfect. But if you do want me to break it down and show you how to play those chords, go ahead and skip to this time here where I will show you how to play those chords. But after that, we'll go into the strumming pattern. So the first strumming pattern I have to show you guys is actually going to be a practice pattern, which is just going to be 1 down strum on the beat for every chord change. I always suggest beginners do this because it's a really great way to get to know the song and get used to where you're going to be making those chord transitions before you jump into harder strumming patterns. So if you feel like you don't need to go through an example of that, then that's totally fine. However, if you do want me to show you what that would look like in the song, make sure to skip to this time here where I will go through this practice pattern with you. But after that, I will show you the actual pattern that I do use in my cover here. And as you can see, it's just 8 down strums, and it's going to sound a little something like this. Now I like to put a palm mute on this pattern and then call it a day and play through the whole song with it. So if you feel like you already got the rhythm and everything just by watching me play it just now, then that's great. However, if you do want me to break it down for you and kind of count it out the rhythm and show you guys how to use that in the song, go ahead and skip to this time here where I will be going over the strumming pattern. Of course, if you feel like you have everything down and you're ready to just play the song, you can always go to my playthrough here at the end, and that's where I put all the lyrics and chords and everything that you need to know on screen in front of you, and we can play through the song together. So if you feel like you want to jump ahead to that, then go ahead and feel free to do that. But if you do want to take a closer look at any of these parts, then let's go ahead and go into the more in-depth part of this tutorial, and I'll start with the chords. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at these chords. Like I said, you only need to know 5 to play through the whole song, and we're going to go ahead and start with our A chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. The next chord you need to know is E minor, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we have our D chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next, we have G, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord you need to know is our bar chord, which is our B minor chord, and that looks like this and sounds like this. Now, as promised, if you're a beginner and you are having trouble with bar chords, there is an alternate way you can play this. So instead of barring your first finger, go ahead and just put it on the 2nd fret of the top E string. And your new alternate fingering for B minor will look like this and sound like this. Alright, and those are the only chords you need to know to play this song. Alright, so after you have those chords memorized, go ahead and take a few moments to practice transitioning between them. If that's something that you're having trouble with, make sure to check out my TMT right here on how to transition between chords faster. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the strumming patterns that you can use with this song. I was too scared to jump in, but I was high in the sky. any of my other tutorials, you'll know that I always start with one down strum strumming pattern, and in this case this is going to be our practice pattern because I don't actually use it in the cover at the end, but I do suggest that you take the time to do this if you are a beginner. So let me go ahead and just show you what this would be like. Let's put our A chord down since that's the first chord in the song, and all you want to do is strum down once. Then you would move on to the next chord, which is our E minor, strum down once. Then we have D, then back to A. And that is the progression for most of the verse. And what I want you to do now is just go ahead and go through the whole song, sing through it with just that one down strum till you get used to, you know, what words and stuff you'll be singing on. And that'll really help you get used to where to transition whenever we move into a harder strumming pattern. So let me go ahead and go through an example of that with you, and I'll do the first verse. Again, we have our A chord on, and we're just doing one down strum for every chord. Please picture me in the trees. I hid my peak at 7 feet in the sing over the creek. I was too scared to jump in. Alright, so basically you would do that exact same thing for the whole song until you know where you're going to be making those chord transitions. And then once you've done that, we can go ahead and move on to our actual strumming pattern. So the strumming pattern I do actually use in my cover here at the end, as you can see, is just 8 down strums. Super simple, really beginner friendly. So let's go ahead and go through the motions. If you have your A chord on, that's the first chord in the song, and you're just going to take your pick or your thumb and strum 8 times down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and that's it. That's the whole strumming pattern. It's super simple. We're going to play this through one time for every chord change. So let's go ahead and put it in rhythm now so you can kind of hear what that rhythm sounds like. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys first once. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Super simple. Why don't you put your A chord on and try that with me, and I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. So it can sound very ringy, and it kind of, you lose the rhythm a little bit when we let it ring like that. So what I actually want you to do now is we're going to add a palm mute. So what I do there is I'm taking the side of my hand that has my pick in it, and I'm just really lightly resting it on my strings here between the sound hole and the bridge. And when you do that and strum down, do you see how it kind of like mutes the strings a little? That's really going to help us kind of build the rhythmic aspect of this strumming pattern. So let's go ahead and do that 8 down strum one more time, but this time let's add that palm mute, okay? So I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. And then once you have the palm muting down, the last thing you want to do is add in a little bit more of that like beat that drives the song. And so what I do there is I like to emphasize certain ones of these down strums. So I'm going to go ahead and underline them for you so you can see them. So as you can see, I'm underlining the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th down strum. And so what that's going to do is kind of create more of a rhythm. So let me go ahead and show you once. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and all I'm doing there is for those underlined beats, I'm just kind of strumming it down with a little bit more energy, a little bit more force than the other beats. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so why don't you go ahead and try that with me? We're going to add that palm mute in there, and we are going to emphasize the underlined beats, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. And then once you have all of that down, so you've got the 8-dum strum pattern down, and you have the rhythm, and you've added the palm mute and the emphasis, now all you want to do is add in those chord transitions. So like I said, we're just going to be playing through this pattern one time through for each chord change. So let me go ahead and put the chord progressions on screen for you there. And let's go ahead and go through this together, okay? I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, E minor. D. A. Good, again. A, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, E minor. B. A. You got it. Please picture me in the trees. I hit my peak at 7 feet in the swing over the creek. I was too scared to jump in. Nice. All right, so once you have all of that down and you put in those chord transitions, you are ready to play the song, because the rest of the song does follow this exact same pattern as far as strumming goes, and you can incorporate it for the entire song, and I think it sounds really great. So if you feel like you need a little bit more time to practice this, no worries. Go ahead and pause the video and just practice at your own pace until you can keep up at tempo. But let's go ahead and move on to the playthrough here at the end, where I will have the chords and lyrics and strumming pattern and have everything that you need to know on screen in front of you to play through the song together. Your dad is always mad, and that must be why. I think you should come live with me, and we could be pirates. Then you won't have to cry or hide in the closet. This is 7 by Taylor Swift. Good luck. Please picture me in the trees. I hit my peak at 7 feet in the swing over the creek. I was too scared to jump in, but I was high in the sky with Pennsylvania under me. Are there still beautiful things? Sweet tea in the summer, cross your heart, will tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you. Your braids like a pattern, love you to the moon and to Saturn. Passed down like folk songs, this love lasts so long. I've been meaning to tell you, I think your house is haunted. Your dad is always mad, and that must be why. I think you should come live with me, and we could be pirates. Then you won't have to cry or hide in the closet. Just like a folk song, our love will be passed on. Please picture me in the weeds before I learn civility. Alright, so that was my tutorial for how to play 7 by Taylor Swift. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, as well as to subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss out on another new tutorial. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun things like behind the scenes looks at things coming up. I'll poll you guys on things you want to see, and I have a free monthly lesson giveaway going on my Instagram right now, so make sure to follow me on there if you would like to enter. This is also where I go to find people to feature in my segment Forever Features. This week we have Siba performing Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. Let's give it a listen.
People dream high in the quiet of the night, you know that I caught it. Bad, bad boy, shiny toy with the price, you know that I bought it. Killing me slow, I'm the winner, I'm always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice.
So if you want to be featured in an upcoming tutorial, make sure to follow me on Instagram and post a short cover of you playing any song that you've learned from any of the tutorials on my channel. Use that hashtag #ForeverFeatures in the description so I can find it, and the next feature spot could be you. One last little plug, if you liked the shirt I was wearing in today's tutorial, this is my O Capo shirt, and you can find this and a lot of other different designs in my merch store linked down below, as well as under this video. Every purchase there really helps my channel to grow and allows me to continue making these free tutorials for all of you guys. So thank you so much to anyone who's ever supported me in that way. But I think that does conclude this video, so thank you again so much for watching. I hope it helped, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!